What is right in front of you that you don't see? Well, I'm going to show you an image, and in this image there are 16 circles. See if you can find them. Okay, were you able to find them? I got to tell you, I love games like this, and I was thrilled when I could find the 16 circles. But it got me to thinking, what is right in front of me, like those circles, that I'm not seeing? Let me first talk about the body. The body is something we all see, right? You meet somebody and you see them. You see their body, their face, their hands, their feet. But I see the body as simply a package that we walk around in. It's a little bit like a brown paper bag around a package, and the real value is on the inside, but all we see is the outside. And I talk about the body like a tool. It's something we use to get things done in our life. It's a little bit like a car. It's an amazing machine, but it needs a driver. It can't really do anything on its own. What is right in front of us that we don't see? Let me tell you a story about my friend Cindy. Cindy and I met when we were in our 20s, and we were about the same size, and we were on a committee together, and we had our first children just within months of each other. And she was a great friend, and Cindy went on vacation to Estes Park, Colorado, and when she came back, she had trouble walking up a flight of steps without getting out of breath. And so she went to the doctor, and the doctor looked at her, and I don't know how much he checked her out, and he said, "You're fine." Now, Cindy looked fine. Her body looked fine, but she wasn't fine. Another friend of ours, Joan, told her, "Go to another doctor. You are not fine." So Cindy went to another doctor, and she was diagnosed with primary pulmonary hypertension. She needed a heart and lung transplant. You wouldn't know it if you saw her. So Cindy got a handicap parking sticker because she was out of breath so much. And people would scoff at her and give her dirty looks as she got out of her car because it didn't look like Cindy was handicapped, but she was. She told me she had very close friends who didn't believe she was sick because she looked fine. They didn't really believe the level of her illness. Cindy gave me such a great perspective on life. I remember her telling me she was reading in the paper about a mudslide in a foreign country and dozens of people had been buried alive. And because she was dealing with her own mortality, she said, those are real people and they're suffering and their families are suffering. And Cindy was sick. She was really sick. She had a lung transplant in her 20s. She lived another 7 years or so and then died before she could get another organ. She left behind a daughter and a husband. So how can we see more? How could someone see what Cindy was going through? Well, we could see if we would take the time to take a second look, or if we would take the effort to focus. Just like the image at the beginning of the video, you need to take time to look at it and go through the effort to focus. Why don't we see? It's because things are too fast in our lives. We are too fast-paced. We're going from here to there, and we're not stopping to see. People could have seen that Cindy was sick if they stopped to take a second look. She would get winded going upstairs. She had a handicap sticker. She would stop and pause a lot. If someone took the time. Or it requires effort. Someone could have seen what was going on with Cindy if they took the effort to ask her a few questions. We get lazy. We make assumptions. We see one thing and we think, oh, that's what it is, instead of going through the effort to find out what we're really seeing. So, what's right in front of me with people that I don't see? Well, it could be illness, like with Cindy. Someone could be suffering from a migraine, and I'm not stopping to pay attention that they look like they're in pain or they don't want to be in the light. It could be a lack of energy, and I'm not slowing down and focusing enough to realize, they're kind of slow today. Maybe they weren't able to get sleep last night. It could be their poor diet, that I just need to stop and I could really see. I could see that they aren't well because of their poor diet. Or it could be just a physical weakness, like it's an aging thing or back pain, something that I'm not taking the time to stop and see when it's right in front of me. So how can we see what's right in front of us? Take a second look and make the effort to focus. Let's take the time to do that with other people. They're worth it. Can you observe others in a new way so you can see what's right in front of you? Be well.